My name is Luna, and we have Flying Logic, which is a software that is designed to help with the theory of constraints thinking process.
Flying Logic?
Flying Logic.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
I heard, okay, keep going.
And we sell to anywhere from consultants all the way up to huge enterprises, including big DoD contractors like
Okay.
Raytheon, Boeing, things
Sure.
like that. We were on when the software started and didn't have any marketing experts, it was on a perpetual licensing for many years. We switched it to SaaS about 15 months ago. We've gone from 0 MRR to 10,000 in that period of time.
Okay.
But we're still at 200K revenue, looking to break through.
Yeah.
We have a real pricing problem. We know we're really underpriced.
Okay.
Sammy suggested that we start breaking into doing enterprise sales at like $250K for a site license, things
Yeah,
like that.
that's kind of.
Given that it's the three of us, we don't have a ton of cash.
Yeah.
And I was wondering what's the best leverage way that I can use myself, my comfort with high ticket sales and things like that, to break into that type of B2B sales with those type of enterprises.
So you said you have comfort selling high ticket, correct? So where are you selling high ticket now?
I've done it in the past with my
In the
other
past.
businesses.
Okay, got it. Okay. And so the software helps people do what? Just use the theory of constraints?
It helps people visualize the diagrams, the theory of constraints, thinking processes, current reality trees, future reality trees. You can use it for all kinds of things, mind maps, but it's basically very unlike Visio in that you connect A to B and then it magically rearranges itself. So it removes all the friction of creating these kinds of diagrams, especially when you have a whole group of people shouting out stuff and you're making changes.
Yeah.
You don't have to go away and come back the next day with all
So
your
it sounds
Visio.
like it's a consultant product.
It's used by
That's what it
consultants
sounds
around the
like,
world.
right? It's like,
Right.
and one of the things that's probably worth looking at is like, who is, I mean, this is every software company, well, actually really every company has to do this at some point, which is like, who do we serve, right? And so if you have like, I mean, if you already have contacts at Raytheon and all that stuff, like I don't even think that their budgets round down to $10,000.
Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, I think they wouldn't even believe you if you charged them less than $1 million.
We get a contact from Citibank who sends us a PO for 25 copies, for 25 seat lights. So we actually PO them. We send them the license key for them to manage, and then they send us a 10-page contract of all the additional things they want us to agree to. And of course, we don't have a corporate lawyer to review that and redline it.
Yeah.
That doesn't really happen that often a lot of times, but we do get onesies and twosies in these companies, and a lot of times it's through a reseller, and an asset manager is the only email address that I have. So I want to be able to talk to the actual
How'd you get
users.
the $10,000 a month?
Well, basically, the people who have started using Flying Logic back in 2010 with version 1,
Jeez.
they're very sticky.
Right.
And so they stay, and then so when we moved to Perpetual, from Perpetual to MRR, there was some whining, but a lot of people really converted over. We offered them an upgrade deal. We're building out Flying Logic Academy to help
How'd you get
educate
those people? 14 years ago.
14 years ago.
The original software was developed, I developed it for Northrop Grumman.
Okay.
Using their internal research and development money. I licensed it back from Northrop Grumman to become the perpetual publisher.
Yeah.
So I still pay them a small royalty. But essentially, Northrop Grumman started using it. They have a site license for everybody in their company. I don't know how many people use it in the company. But people from Northrop Grumman then go to Raytheon, they go to Boeing, they go
Are you
to
allowed
Procter
to
& Gamble.
say that?
I'm not allowed to use them.
Yeah.
Well, we say
I was
it
like,
as
'cause
a
that
matter
would
of
be-
fact, but it's not something we can.
I would give them a
order
royalty
marketing.
just to be able to say that.
Yeah, well, yeah. We have. If you look at our website, we have a nice gallery of logos on our website. Sandia Labs.
Yeah. So
JPL.
we have two things. All right. So actually three, and they're probably the three most important things that you need to figure out. Which is you need to figure out who you sell to. You need to figure out how much you're going to charge them. You figure out how you're going to get them. And so right now, if you have a product that already has a clear use case for enterprise, then I would probably go whale hunting rather than go minnow hunting, right? And so if that's the who, the price is going to be relatively self-explanatory, which is you're going to get into the conversation with them and just say the biggest number you can possibly think of, and just see how they react. You can always go down, can't go up,
Right.
right? And so seriously, big no for everybody. Just say the biggest number you can think of. Because what the worst feeling in the world is when you're like 250 grand, they're like, okay, and you're like, fuck. You're like, I could have got 500 on that. You know what I mean? And so that's the who, that's the price. And then in terms of the advertising method, you guys have background, you know people that have been in those businesses, and they do have typically long sales cycles that you're probably accustomed to. I think the issue that you've had with like these one-off contracts and all the contingencies in terms is simply because you don't care for what you're charging,
Right.
So at what price would you be like, oh, I don't care. Yeah, I'll agree to all that stuff. And so I think, fundamentally from a strategic perspective, it's a pricing issue, which then kind of ladders down to, okay, who can afford the price that I want to do it? And then what's the friction that's associated with selling to those types of customers? Well, it's not worth it for 10 grand a month.
Right.
It's worth it for $1 million a year.
Right.
So then I think I think you're honestly like one deal away from fixing all your cash flow.
I think so too.
Cool. If you're a business owner and you're not growing as fast as you'd like, I'd like to give you a free gift. So my team and I put together the $100 million scaling roadmap, which is basically 200 hours of us looking over all the portfolio companies we've had and what stages of growth they went through, and more importantly, where they got stuck and how they got past it. And so we broke it into these 10 stages, and we made this little kind of quiz thing where if you put in your business information, it'll tell you where you're at, and the most important part for you, what to do for each of the functions of the business across product, marketing, sales, customer success, recruiting, IT, human resources, and finance. And so no matter what you're struggling with, someone else has already struggled with it and solved it. And so I'd like to give you this thing absolutely free. You can go to acquisition.com/roadmap, plug in your business information, and if you want us to actually help you deconstrain the business and you're trying to scale, we'd love to help you out. On the thank you page, you can just book a call with my team, and we will look at the business, see if we can help, and if we can, we'll invite you out to Vegas, and we'll do this in person live.